You gotta get comfortable getting dirty if you're gonna jump down there in them pigs. But speaking of dirty, boy, Tom got a ticking time bombshell going on, boy. That bombshell of his wife, that Giselle Bundchen, she got her panties in a bunch. Yeah, Bundchen got her panties in a bunch because boy, Tom think he can play football forever. Now we all know that Giselle wanted Tom to stop playing football a while ago, but Tommy he just keep playing. He just keep playing. He don't want to go back to his Brazilian baby. And anyway, so Tom retired at the end of last year, and then he unretired. He came back, and apparently he didn't talk to his wife about it. There are reports that they're staying in different houses, and he's getting Wednesdays off. According to Peter Schrager, he was having Thursdays off last year, so it's not as me want to be respond to it as I would have 2 days ago because I have new information. But nonetheless, they're having marital problems because she's like, "Well, what are you doing this for?" And he's like, "Well, I love it. I want to do it." And she's like, "Doc, you're 45. You've won 7 Super Bowls. You're the greatest of all time. Come on, bro. Understand, I was you in my industry, and I took a break so that we could have a family with the idea that you would be done by now." And I was listening to an interesting conversation on Joe Budden's podcast. It was this past Saturday, and they were covering it, right? They were talking about I only have a finite amount of time to do this. And it's like, well, yeah, bro, you've done it for over 20 years. And I'm him, and I'm setting myself up for ownership and needs money. And we go from 100 millions to B's. And it's like, well, hey, guys, let me tell you something. His opportunity for ownership was not contingent upon him playing this past year. I promise you it wasn't. He's Tom Brady. He's good. He just got a $375 million contract from Fox. He's good. And that contract opens the door for him if he can't outright buy a team or buy enough shares to be a majority owner. He can borrow the money to buy it because they see the contract, right? But Giselle's over it because the question becomes, what's more important to you? And those who defend Thomas say he should keep playing. He should keep playing as long as he can. Okay, you say that, but what's most important to you? Is keeping your wife happy important? Is being there for your family important? We can always talk about, well, it's my job, it's my career, this and that and the third. But when you are financially stable, when you have the relationships, when you have the brand, when you have the generational wealth that he's acquired, because it's never been the money for Tom. Because if it was just the money for Tom, Tom wouldn't have taken so many team friendly deals. He's only making like 25 million this year. Aaron is making 50. But if you don't want to be home with your wife and your kids, you want to be home with the family, well, then keep playing football. Because at some point, your partner is not selfish for making you make a choice. It's like, hey, I have needs too. They're not being filled. I want my needs filled. So how do I get those? How do we make this work? And I think Tom's being selfish. Hey, dude, you're 45. Go home with your family. What you're doing is unprecedented, and I think it's great. And as a football fan, I love it. I think Tom Brady is a great football player, and I like to watch Tom Brady play football. I don't want him to stop playing football for my eyes, but I think that we get to a point to where you've done what you've done, you've made what you can make, and I value family. I value like being. If you all knew the lifestyle changes that I'm making because my family is growing right now, you'd get why I'm coming from this place, right? I enjoy hanging out with my wife, and my wife doesn't put pressure on me to be a certain way, and she allows me to be me. She allows me to cook. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let Russ cook. Yeah, I actually get to cook. I ain't Russ. My shit be good. But at the same time, I be like, nah, Brian gonna do this because I want to hang out with the family. And if Tom doesn't want to hang out with the family, he just needs to say that because right now, bro, he got a ticking time bomb going on in his other house that he ain't in because she ain't because she's Timothy too. She's Shimothy. He got a ticking time bombshell. And unfortunately for Tom, it was kind of weird trying to look at this topic. I'm like, oh, I don't want to talk about Tom's marriage. And I go, boy, I done came in here and talked so much shit about Will and Jada. Why am I scared? Why am I scared to talk about this white man and his Brazilian wife? I shouldn't be. It is what it is. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Boom, boom, boom. Just remember that, Tom. Just remember that. But what's most important to you is continuing to play football the most important thing to you. And if that is, then everybody else around you got to get over it. But if being more involved with your family is more important than you, then gotta give football a little rest. Honestly, you've played for over 20 years. You've competed on the highest level, and you've been great. And I think there's still some meat on the bone for you, Tom? Absolutely. But if it's causing your wife to want to walk away and you want her to get closer to you, hopefully this is your last year for your sake, not for my sake.